Kung Fu mastery, that's my style. I'm the one you can't deny. Flowing like a warrior straight from the east. I'm the panda, bring peace, jumping high, moving fast. I'm the Kung Fu master, breaking bad with every punch and every strike. I'm the panda, dynamite, no limits, no fear. I'm on fire, I'm the warrior, taking it higher. From the valley to the highest peak, I'm the panda, bold and sleek.
Hi, friends. In this video, I want to tell you about an interesting and at the same time strange character from the series Kung Fu Panda. Legends of Awesomeness. As you've already guessed, I'm talking about Tailung's nephew, Peng. Who he is and where he came from. But before we begin, I'd like to mention a couple of words about the series. Although the series sometimes looks childish and, I would even say, naive, there are lessons to be learned from it. It does a good job of developing many secondary characters and shows us new details about the world of Kung Fu Panda. So Peng, we meet him in the 12th episode of the second season. We learn that Peng is looking for his uncle, who disappeared long ago, named Tailung.
I'm searching for my uncle. His name is Tailung.
However, before revealing his true origin, Peng appears before us as someone who has visited the Valley of Peace. As he himself says, he was raised to be a potter and sometimes practiced Kung Fu. In search of his relative, Peng finds himself at the Peace Jubilee, where he accidentally participates in a children's Kung Fu tournament, fighting with the nephew of the warlord Temutai. Peng defeats the buffalo and shocks everyone present with his skill, including Shifu and Pa. Learning that Peng is self-taught, Pa invites him to train at the Jade Palace, as it would be a waste for such talent to go unnoticed. Upon arriving at the palace, Peng captivates everyone with his humor, charisma, and skills, in short, becoming a local favorite. Seeing all the attention shift to the young prodigy, Pa begins to envy Peng and speculates that in the future, the newcomer will overshadow even the dragon warrior himself, and he decides to deceive the lad by saying that Master Shifu deemed him unfit for training, and at that moment, Peng's dark side emerges.
I'll prove to Shifu he's wrong! He's wrong!
Deciding to prove his strength, Peng attacks Temutai, thinking that this will earn him the recognition of the Kung Fu masters. Almost defeating the buffalo, Peng is stopped from killing him by Pa. After that, Peng falls into even greater rage, seeing the uncontrollable anger of the young boy. Pa decides to confess his envy to him and tells him that nobody ever kicked him out. Upon hearing this, Peng calms down and also apologizes to Pa for what he has done. Eventually reconciling on a good note, he decides to leave the valley and before leaving, confesses that he is looking for his uncle Tailung. At this moment, the bewildered Pa realizes that Peng will eventually return when he learns the truth. Over time, this does happen. In his travels, Peng learns that Tailung was stopped by the dragon warrior. Deciding to check the authenticity of this legend, he returns to the Valley of Peace to talk to the panda. Meeting with his old friend Pa, unable to bear the pressure of conscience, he decides to confess everything, telling him that he was the one who killed Tailung. Upon hearing this, Peng completely loses it and attacks Pa, accusing him of lying and ignoring all the arguments about how Tailung became a monster corrupted by power. As a result, throwing Pa off a cliff, Peng goes to question the local residents, and to his horror, they all confirm Pa's words. This makes the young Peng realize what a monster Tailung was, and in fear that he might become like his uncle, Peng decides to completely give up Kung Fu.
Tailung misused Kung Fu.
He became evil and breaking Kung Fu forever. A little later, Temutai finds an ancient artifact, the Gong Lu Medallion, which gives the bearer new power. And using this bauble, he attacks the Jade Palace, defeating all its defenders. Seeing that they lack the strength, Pa goes for help to Peng, and managing to persuade him, together they defeat the buffalo and throw him away. The brilliant Kung Fu masters couldn't do it, but the clumsy self-taught one could. And so, it seemed everything ended well. However, it was not to be. Accidentally seizing the medallion, Peng, blinded by power, puts it on himself. As it turns out, the medallion amplifies not only the power of the bearer, but also all the most negative emotions. After that, Tailung's nephew again attacks the dragon warrior. Understanding that he cannot reach Peng, but decides to resort to cunning and, with the help of another artifact, transforms into Tailung to show the young man how dark and destructive his uncle's path was. During the conversation, Peng stands up for an ordinary resident whom Pa demonstratively attacked, and after a brief duel, the nephew realizes that he does not want to fall as low as his relative did. Despite rejecting the darkness in his heart, Peng refuses to practice Kung Fu, as he now sees that deep inside there are resentments and a thirst for power. That's the whole story of Peng. By nature, humans always strive for power and want to seize control. Such a power-hungry person will not stop. Even when they obtain that power, they will always feel lacking and they will become a maniac. We were born to simply live our lives, like carefree Pa, who needs nothing. It is precisely because of this that he becomes the dragon warrior. In the 4th episode, we see Tailung, who realizes that he was wrong and behaved badly, and the main struggle in this world is only with oneself, a battle against one's dark side. Well, conquer yourself, like and subscribe. Thanks for your attention.